How's it going, guys? My fellow bass heads, man. A while back I promised a video, you know, like a comparison of my new sub Phi Audio BTL4 12-inch sub, yeah, and my Orion HCCA 124 sub. I've been an Orion owner, an Orion customer, man, for quite some time, you know. I got a bunch of Orion products. I got Orion Neo mids, you know, from my mid-range. I got Orion XPM MBF mid-bass speakers, man, for my mid-bass. I don't have Orion tweets, and I do have an Orion mids and highs amp. I got an XTR 2500.4, but for some reason that amp died and it's got to go back. I had an Orion XTR 2500 DZ, and you know, so I mean, I haven't tried or had everything Orion has, but you know, the things that I talk about I have had. So really all I wanted to do was just compare these two subs, you know, as a consumer. You know, it's not about fanhood, it's not about bashing a brand, it's just a consumer, man, a bass head. You know, it's a community where bass heads, there's something that we like, there's something that we enjoy about low hertz music, yeah. And so we buy products that, you know, frequency that low bass hertz music, yeah, alright. And you know, what's really difficult nowadays, at least in our generation, is that, you know, we have to buy online. Most of us. I know there's some hands-on stores here and there, but most of us have to buy online. And it's hard to do that, man. You know, it's hard to buy something before you get to hear it or try it or, you know, touch it, feel it, look at it, compare it, so on and so forth. I know this. And as a consumer, I know this. And so that really all I wanted to do today, man, was just set these two subs side by side and go over them. You know, there's going to be an issue here with my experience, at least, and that's the Phi Audio sub is new for me. I haven't used it yet, you know. I'm not going to be able to mention anything about its reproduction or anything like that, you know, its performance. I'm not going to be able to do that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the two, the materials they're made of, man, what they're made of, how they're made, the differences in between them, this kind of thing. Like I said, this is not a video to bash any brand. It's not a video to do anything like that, man. It's just simply a comparison of two subs that I've used or using. Alright, let's start with Orion, since I've used Orion. Orion was my very first sub, man. I got a 15-inch sub. I'll show it to you back here. My very first Orion sub. It wasn't my first sub. It's covered under that junk back there. Right there's the box. If you look, you can see the red right in there. Alright. Yeah, my garage is a mess, guys. I've been in the middle of a build and I've just destroyed it. Okay. So Orion was my first major sub, my first competition sub. Kickers were my first sub. And there was a reason I bought Orion. Let me go ahead and turn around here. Let me talk about this. I bought Orion, you know, because of its power rating. You know, it power rated 2,500 watts, and you know, there was a certain value about the sub. I bought the 15-inch sub. It was like $450. Yeah, okay. And compared to all the other 15-inch subs of that, you know, power level, it wasn't the cheapest. You know what I mean? But it was definitely one of the better subs for quality purposes. Yeah, okay. So I bought it. I don't know, man, maybe 3 months after I bought it, I had to buy a recon for it. Blew the tensor lead. Yeah, okay, I didn't know that at the time. I took the old cone out, put the new cone in, I took a look at the old cone, and I saw that the tensor lead had blown, and this is the reason why it wasn't reading. Alright, so, I thought, you know what, because that 15 wasn't it wasn't fitting in my truck too good. My passenger seat was all the way up against the dash, and so it wasn't working. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a build, guys. Alright. Yeah, it wasn't working too good. And so I thought, let me go ahead and get two 12s. And that's what I did. And so I bought two Orion 12s. Two Orion 124s. Alright. And I put it on the HD, Teraamps HD5K. And loved it. Absolutely loved it. I liked the sealed box sound, or fourth order sound even. And so that's what I had it in. And probably maybe about 6 months after I bought this sub, I had this problem right here. Out of both of my cones. It started with this one, and I took this cone out, man, and I played around with it. spider had broken all the way around, and so I used some epoxy to see if I could do that. But the reason that it quit working, I don't know if you can see that, was the tensile lead blowed. Firstly, it blowed. At first it burned a hole in the spider, and you can see that hole there. It's right there where the tensile is, and it was burnt. Okay, and then after burning the hole in the spider, it weakened the spider, and the spider began tearing. And it also burned a hole on the other side, right there, though that spider hadn't tore. Alright, and I took them out, man, and I caught this before they went totally and completely bad. I caught this because I was taking my subs from and taking them out of a seal box and building a fourth order for them. And you know, and I asked about the online about the spiders tearing, and everybody was like, oh, you got it too big a box. No, I didn't have it too big a box. Orion was rated at 2 cubes per sub, sealed. And I had it in less than that. I had it in 1.5 cubes, you know. So, matter of fact, I had it in that box right there. Alright, yeah. That's a 1 cube box, and I had less than a pound of poly stuffed in it. Alright. Anyway, so I was having these problems out of Orion. Which, you know, and I thought, that's alright, man. I get a recon. No problem. I bought recons before, and I bought them anywhere between $150 to $175 a piece, and I could live with that, you know. Yeah, alright. But some reason, after this craziness has gone on, after this trade war and all this other crap, the price for Orion more than doubled. Yeah. The recons went up $300 and some dollars, and the subs more than doubled to $700 and some dollars, $720 some dollars. And you know, hey, and that's their prerogative. They do that, man. You know, whether it's worth that or not, I guess that's beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But to me, as a consumer, you know, it wasn't worth it. You know, Orion's got its problems. You know, just like any other piece of equipment that has its problems. The question is, are you willing to live with the problems that it has at the price you're getting it for? That's what you got to ask yourself, isn't it? All right. So, knowing then that the tensile leads in Orion, and we'll look at this one a little closer, you can see that one single tensile lead in there, you know, yeah, okay, and you know what, it's probably pretty good for rated as far as 2500 watts goes, but for some reason, it doesn't last. I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong, I clip my sub every now and then, you know, not always, I guess, but, you know, clipping's bad. They tell you this, don't clip at all, you know, but I just can't see how a little clipping is going to blow that tensile lead every time. Okay, alright, it just happens. Alright, that's just one of Orion's things. And the spiders, another one of Orion's things, you know, something that we can live with. So I try 5. I bought 5 for the first time, man, on Black Friday. Yeah, I got 2 of these subs for right at $1,000, man, and then of course I got the discount, and I ended up paying $8 and some change, $8.99, almost $900 for these subs. Now immediately when we look at these 2 subs, we see that the Orion is taller. This sub from here down to the motor bottom is 9.5 inches, okay, and of course the Orion is 12.5 inches. Alright, so it's a little longer. It's obviously got a bigger motor on it. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 500 ounce motor, and this is 400, maybe a 375 or 400, but don't quote me on these stats, guys. Yeah, okay. The Orion has these screw down terminals, man, these Allen head terminals, yeah, okay, and Phi has spring loaded terminals, which I happen to enjoy, yeah, alright. Another thing that caused me to choose Orion to begin with was I like the system of recon, man. You know, you can take this ring off. You take the bolts out of the ring. You take the ring off. I got a couple of those videos, man. You get down, take the bolts out of the spider along the bottom, and you just pull the whole assembly out. And man, that's awesome. You know, because that's something that you can do right in the field during competition anytime. It's so easy, you know, to get that done. And that was a factor that caused me to choose to buy Orions as well. You know, the ease of this recon, because I knew that reconing involved some gluing and cutting and God only knows what else, and I was just like, man, you know, this would be so easy with these bolts, you know, and I thought, yeah, alright, and that was one of the reasons that drove me to Orion. Alright. We look at the spider, and excuse me guys, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of this material. Let's look at it here. I don't know the name of this material. I do know that it's synthetic. It's got something coated on it, Nomex, maybe something like that. But the Phi spider is cotton, Yeah, I mean, it's a cloth spider, so it's a different kind of material, and I don't know how that's going to work just yet. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to break and tear like this under stress or heat. I don't think it's going to rip like that, and you can tell that by feeling it, you know. So it's got a different spider system. And of course the tinsel leads. You know, we see the one there, yeah, and we see the 5 has dual tinsel leads for each terminal. Yeah, and the tinsel lead, this one tinsel lead is just a little bit bigger than that one. You know, and the woven threads and fibers is thinner, so it's got a higher count, strand count, you might say, yeah, than this one. And it's thicker, and it's dual. There's 2 of them, so there's 4 total for your input terminals, whereas there's only 2 for this. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like 4 will handle more current and more heat, especially, than 2. Alright. Secondly, you can see the way that they're done here. You know, they got enough slack. This sub has got 33 millimeters of X-Max, whereas the Orion has 30 millimeters of X-Max. And something I want to mention here, guys, you know, these TS parameters doesn't make one sub better than another sub. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with it. The TS parameters don't make one sub better than another sub. Just because one has more millimeters of X-Max, or because one has bigger motor or more motor force, doesn't make it a better sub. Yeah? Okay. You got to understand what environment or enclosure the sub is made for. That's the purpose of the TS parameters. It tells you what kind of box to put it in. Now, you should know what kind of box that you want to listen to by the sound that you like. Whether you like a sealed sound or whether you like a ported sound, because it's all variant of those two types of enclosures. Alright, so the TS parameters don't make one sub better than another sub. Alright. Not unless you're looking at 2 subs that are made for the same enclosure. And then you got to understand how you want, what you want, the power rating you put on it, your vehicle's electrical system, there's a lot of other factors. So this BTL4 has a 4-inch coil, and so does the Orion. Yeah, it's got a big massive coil. And you know, I have to give Orion props. I've never had an issue with the coils. Not ever have I ever had an issue out of a coil from Orion. Most people say that, you know, these subs are rated at 2,500 watts, but they'll do 3,000 watts, you know, or I even heard some people say 3,500 watts. Now, I've heard guys say they put massive power on these subs. I don't know. Just because you got a 10,000 watt amp on one sub doesn't mean that sub's getting 10,000 watts. Alright, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay. Let's see here now. Where were we? We were on the coil. Alright. You know, one thing I liked about 5 subs too was that this sub is handmade. You know, the motor was machined in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, an American man. You know, it's an American-made sub. It's hand manufactured right here in this country. If you buy these subs, you're going to have to wait a little while to get them because it takes some time to make these things. Yeah, all right. But and you know that in itself, you know, to me at least, was a deciding factor when I went looking for another set of subs. The reason I went and looked for another set of subs was because I wanted to increase my 2 12-inch subs to 4 12-inch subs. But after I seen the price increase, I thought there's no way. You know, there's no way. I cannot live with that price increase with the problems that this sub has. I just couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. And so I moved on. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to leave my daily driver with 2 12s in it, and I'm going to start working on an SPL. I'm going to start working on an SPL build in my Jeep. I bought my wife another vehicle, and now I got a Jeep. I can do 4 15s, I can do 4 18s, I can do 6 15s. Yeah, alright. So this is just going to continue to be my daily. This is going to give me an opportunity really to try these subs out, because I might go with them in my SPL build. Alright. Let's look at this. It looks like Orion has got a tall surround. You know, it's not super wide, but it is tall to carry that 30 millimeters of X-Max. Yeah. The 5 doesn't have a tall surround, but it's got a mega surround. It's wide, you know. I like the carbon fiber dust cap, you know, it's cool. But then I like the Orion polypropylene dust cap with the moon on it. You know, it's Orion's logo, man, and that was awesome. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the stamped Orion logo. I enjoyed everything about this sub. No doubt about it, about the way it looked. Wasn't super happy with the way that it mounted, yeah, but it worked. I never had no issues out of it. Alright, yeah. The basket, you know, I know the basket has some things to do with performance, and I'm sorry guys, you know, I'm not a speaker engineer, and so I don't know all those things, all those questions. You know, I do know that the Orion basket is bigger, and its shape, the shape of the basket, it helps to keep it sturdy for its travel, you know, the speaker's travel. Yeah, I do know that. All right. And we can see again that this basket is a little smaller, and that's kind of strange to me. I'm wondering how it is this basket being smaller than this basket, and yet this sub has got 33 millimeters of X-Max one way, and this has got 30 millimeters of X-Max one way. I don't know, maybe one of you guys that's more knowledgeable about that can hit me up in the comments and explain that to me. And back to the coil. Yeah, you can look in there and you can see, let me get this sub closer to us so we can get a better look. When you look in there in that coil, you can see that that's the flat wound aluminum wire on that coil. It's a big flat wound, and that's going to handle some power. Now, like I said earlier, this coil was rated for 2,500 watts, and I've heard people say 3,500 watts, and I don't know how they're going to get 3,500 watts continuous on these tensile leads, but that's what they say. Okay, this sub is rated at 3,500 watts, you know, and I believe that it'll do that and more, every bit of it, without a doubt. I believe it'll take that heat, and the cooling that is on this sub is a little different. It's quite different than Orion, actually. And it's got to do with the machining. Now, the Orion sub is made on an assembly line in China somewhere. Yeah, it is what it is. Alright. And it's got regular pole vent cooling. You know, it's got a pole vent right here, and then it's got for it's got the center pole vent cooling, and then it's got the vents around the pole for the cooling. Okay. The Phi has got cooling channels in the pole, and it's only got these 3 vents to cool with. And you know, I don't know the process, but I just know that it draws air in through there, passes it over the coil through the pole on the inside, man, yeah, and blows it out. That's all I know. I don't know exactly how that works. Alright. They both got paper cones, man, and I'm gonna take a shot and say they're probably the same thickness, you know. You're close to the same thickness. The Phi might be a little stiffer, a little stronger. And I don't know the weight, I don't know the moving mass of these two subs, you know. I'm going to take a shot and say the Orion's probably got a heavier moving mass, and that's the reason why it's got a much larger motor. I don't know the motor force spec on the Orion. This one here is, I think it was 20 at, in parallel, it's 20 newtons or whatever, and I don't know what the Orion is. Again, the TS parameter doesn't make one sub better than another sub, depending on its application. Yeah, alright, for me, I like the sealed sound, so that's my application. You know, so I look at subs that's got a low EBP, you know, mostly, I mean, that's the first thing I look at, and that tells me whether or not that'll work good in a sealed box or a 4th order box. Yeah, alright. You know, between these two subs, you know, I really can't wait to get the files going and get them stretched out, man, get them broke in, you know, get listening to them. I really can't. I really hope that, you know, it's a good buy, because if these turn out, if these got problems, if I don't like these right here, I'm moving the Sundown. I'm either going to move the Sundown or Death Barnes, you know, and I might buy some of those anyway just to try them out, because as a consumer, how are you going to buy one product and say it's the best with never using anything else? Think about that. Alright, you know, you see people on the internet, and they arguing, calling people names, talking trash and everything else, and they've never owned anything different than what they got. But so how do they know it's the best? Childish and immature, brothers. Yeah, alright. Look, man, it's okay to brag on what you got. You're proud of it. It works. Especially if you built it. Yeah, if you designed it and you built it, man, brag on that. Yeah, but don't say that something is bad just because it's not what you like or it's not what you want. Yeah, because obviously you don't know what's bad and good if you've only had one brand. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm just saying. You know, I'm not a fanboy. No way, shape, fashion, or form, man. You know, I'm a consumer, man. You know, I like to spend my dollars well, you know. So I don't just buy something because of its name, and I don't just buy something because of hype. No. That's not it at all. Yeah, I buy something because it lines up with what it is I'm looking for. Yeah. All right. You know, I can't wait to get these in, man. I'll have the build log of this build video. I'll have that out pretty soon. I hope within a couple weeks anyway. And you know, for those of you, man, that just like basehead content, just like to watch people fumble around putting wood together, man, and talking about it, hey, that's the video for you. Alright. I hope that, man, I hope that if somebody out there is looking at these two subs, or looking between these two subs, man, or whatever, you know, I hope that, you know, I gave some information that might help you make your decision. Listen, I'm not pushing one way or the other. I'm not telling you to buy a Fight. I'm not telling you to buy a Rain. I'm just telling you what I know about these subs. That's it, you know. And I'm sure there might be some haters on there. That's okay, man. You know, people can hate. It is what it is. But for those of you, man, that are wise consumers, I hope you pay attention. Yeah. All right, guys. Man, until the next video, brothers. Yeah. All right, man. Peace.